right, guys. We're all good, except for the fact that everybody's things are all jacked up, apparently.
I don't see anything but the Pathfinder logo.
What do you mean you don't see that? Wait. Oh, yeah.
And,
No. I'm talking about the stream.
oh,
We're all good on
sorry.
the stream. No, it's okay. Sorry, I just have to switch you and Rogue around. Or, I could just totally fuck up the whole stream. That's an option as well. I'm just gonna fuck up the whole stream. You know what? I'm gonna do your names. There we go. That's a little bit easier. Super professional stream, guys. Super professional stream. Awesome. Awesome. Well, hi guys. What were you about to say, Blue?
I said it looks good to me.
Sweet. Well, how are you guys? How you feeling? How's your week?
Oh, not too bad.
Cool.
Shitty.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Sorry.
My
Blue.
husband had his appendix removed.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
It's been a rough one.
Yeah, no joke. For you too? Or for her?
Yeah. Oh, last night my little one tripped while we were on a walk. Not a big deal, like normally, but he tripped and landed on his face and slid.
Mm.
And, well, I was like, oh, he's done this before. Come here, buddy. Get up. And I turn him around and blood is like, I'm like, what the hell? You fell like, 2 feet.
Like, yeah, what
How is this
happened?
possible?
How
Yeah, so he's pretty rough.
how old is he?
7.
Aw.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah. Yes.
My
He's not happy today.
I bet he wouldn't be. I wouldn't be if I did that to my face.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he's healing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's feeling a little better, but
That's good.
he's been tired all day, and he's also sick. So now it's enough to give you stress. Like, is he tired because he's sick, or is he tired because he has a slight concussion? Like I checked his eyes, and everything's like cool and everything, and there's no other signs of But if he's still tired tomorrow, I'm taking him to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's smart.
Enough
That's,
to make you worry.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, well, I hope it gets all better.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Well, welcome everybody who's joining us. This is Vigil's Remnant. This is our Pathfinder 2E homebrew game, and we are fixing to jump in. However, before we do, I have everybody introduce themselves every session so you can kind of attune to their voice and know who's who. As well as to give them a brief opportunity to introduce themselves a little bit. Although I don't know, it's episode 19. Do we need to still keep doing introductions, you think? Do you think we should keep doing that? Yeah? Okay.
It's the nice thing to do.
Okay.
But if somebody new jumps in,
That's fair. That's fair. What if we... That's fair.
That's true.
Okay, so I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves, introduce who you are, as well as your character. And today's question is a combined question that Wade, Agitated Max, helped me to come up with beforehand. Because my question was, what's your favorite Muppet, was going to be my question. Wade's question was, what was your question, Wade?
Well, my original question was what horror movie archetype would you be? But then I was like, no, let's go with the Muppet thing.
And
let's
then
say
we combined them.
Combine them.
Yeah.
What Muppet would your character be?
What Muppet would your character be for Vigil's 2E? So what Muppet would play your character? That is our...
Now, if we're going by Muppet movie rules, one of us has to be played by a well-known actor, surrounded by all the Muppets.
That would be me. That's always the GM, because that's
okay.
Yeah. No, the
you
GM
would have
is...
somebody with gravitas playing you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'll choose an actor. a well-known, like dignified actor, and you guys get to
Buddy
be the
Hackett.
Muppets. All right. So with that said, feel free to we'll go ahead and do this. So we'll start with we're gonna start with blue. Actually, yeah, we'll start with blue and we'll go left on fantasy grounds. So then it will be Jester. So go
Hello,
ahead.
I'm Bluesvakia. I play a character, Catfolk Vanya Piercer. She is a little gunslinger, roguish kitty. And my Muppet would be Miss Piggy.
That's fun.
That's the only person I can remember from the Muppet.
All right, I'm picturing
Sorry.
Vanya as Miss Piggy now. That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right, we'll go with Jester.
Alrighty, guys. I am Wicked Jester. I'll be playing Maj Alward. He's kind of a little timid rat folk that is very well knowledged and very well versed in a lot of topics. I would say that he would probably be played by that giant blue owl.
I thought you were
Forget
going to
the
say
owl's
Rizzo.
I was thinking Rizzo the Rat.
I
but
100% thought he was going to say Rizzo.
No, I was thinking Dr.
No,
Bunsen.
Rizzo's too dumb.
I was thinking Dr. Bunsen Honeydew personally.
So the blue
but
hunt,
he's
the blue owl?
more yeah, if you remember the Muppets Christmas, he was the teacher.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense for your guy.
Oh, what is the blue owl's name?
This is an acceptable offering. I will take it. All right, we will go next to. I'm gonna have Wade go and.
Oh no,
Sir...
it's Sam the Eagle.
Oh, Sam the Eagle.
Huh.
Bastard, you stole mine.
Sam
I'm
Eagle
loving-
seems a little bit too boisterous
Hey,
for.
it's his character. Let him
Maj.
choose. He
All
gets
right.
to choose. How dare you? How dare you try to
All
Muppet him?
right. All right. Well, hi, I'm Agitated Max. I'll be playing two characters tonight. Sir Hammond, Knight of Dawnflower, right? He's the Knight of the Dawnflower.
Oh,
Or
Zoom.
Saren Ray.
No, he is a knight of Iomadai.
Ozum.
Iomadai.
Iomadai.
Okay. Why
That's
hasn't he
what
tried
she
to shake
said.
me down for money yet?
Sorry.
Anyway, he's a knight, and I'm looking at his character sheet right now. He is a warrior, champion, defender of the I almost said defender of the unjust, defender of the just, a ward against all creatures dark and skittery. I don't know. And the favored mount of one jester.
Yeah.
And I think if he was played by anyone, I feel like I was going to say Sam fucking Eagle, you jackass. But because he's normally flustered with all of our antics. Like he's just like, oh, I can't believe that he would do such a thing. Oh. You know.
But Sam the Eagle is also very pompous.
It's true.
Yeah, which is same with a knight. What knight do you know isn't pompous?
All right, so who's going to play Sir Hammond?
So Sir Hammond, I think, will be played by, just because of his general personality and vibe, I would say Scooter. Because he's also just kind of goes along with what everybody else is going, just make certain everybody's okay, everybody's, where they in their places at the right time,
Sure.
So I think it'd be Scooter.
Okay. Scooter.
And the second character I'm playing tonight is my character, Dirge Hot Dish Dugan. And I think, sorry, what was his name? Sorry, it is. I have a specific name for him. What is it? Nope. List of Muppets. There he is. All right, this he's played by Dr. Teeth, the front runner for the band Electric Mayhem. The guy with the big old teeth, and he talked like this.
Can you picture that?
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's who'll play your character?
that's who would play my
George.
characters.
Legit.
Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth. Okay.
Yeah, and then all my guys, my bros, back whenever they were still alive, all of them, they would be the Electric Mayhem band.
I like it. Getting them all into it. Legit. Cool. All right. Let's go with our next person. That will be Rogue. So go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
Hey, buddy. I'm Rogue. And I'm going to be playing Asgrim the Pale, who is the ranger, the Edgelord's ranger. And I'm trying to think of, like, what Muppet would be similar to him at all. I cannot think of one. It would be Raoul the dog.
You can go with Raoul the dog. That's fair.
Ralph?
Ralph the dog.
Hell yeah.
Or I
Now
was thinking about, like, those guys, the guy with the glasses I think he has, and he always, like, makes these dark jokes or something in the background. I can't remember his name, though.
That's okay.
The ones that played Marley and Ebenezer Scrooge in the Christmas Story.
Yeah, I think that's
The two old
I think
guys.
that's the one. Yeah, the two old guys. Yeah.
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. They're fun. Okay, so we've got Sam the Eagle, Statler and Waldorf, Miss Piggy. Okay. And let's go with last but not, and the Electric Mayhem band. Let's go with last but not least.
Hi, I'm Rob, and I play Cranston Earlymorn, and he's a very serious character, but I kind of have to go with something a little not quite as serious, but Uncle Deadly, who
Uncle
is
Deadly.
he's a blue dragon looking critter who is a little sinister, and Cranston has some darkness to him, so that's kind of why I went with that.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
I just
Excuse me.
Thinking about all this, I'm like, who would Zash be? And there's only one option.
Who?
Weedums.
and
Sweet.
I was gonna say animal.
Yeah, animal. Ever too. Animal. Well, my name is the Prankster. I'm also known as Chris, and I am the GM for this game. If I had to choose one actor to represent me and to be the center of our sprawling epic, it would have to be none other than Sir Patrick Stewart, who I think would be fantastic in a Muppet movie.
Just some fucking little things just running around, and he's just like, yes, engage.
Get me some Earl Grey.
Make it so, number one.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into our what we got going on here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a split combat. We got a split combat. And so as a result, we're going to be kind of running two combats concurrently. But we'll get to that in just a second. Let me go ahead and do a small recap from where we were. The last time that we played, all hell broke loose. Blusvecchia's character was found in the middle of the street, covered in gore, blood, and viscera from the exploding chest of a cultist. It is in that encounter that a bunch of people came out, saw her covered, and she was promptly escorted to jail. The rest of the company, crew, came in and kind of investigated the murder, helped to get rid of the weapon that was used for the combat, for the murder. as well as tried to figure out more that was going on. They also investigated and spoke to some of the people at the prison very publicly. Very, very publicly. With lots of yelling from Cranston, as well as I don't know if Hammond really joined in, but Cranston definitely made a ruckus, essentially saying that the person who was killed, that it was a good thing because they ultimately were in the pocket of or employed by the Whispering Way. Because of all of this kind of going on, essentially what ended up happening is they make their way back up into the tavern, try to talk about what was going on. Long story short, looks like some of the Whispering Way have infiltrated the city guard, the people trying to keep the peace. And even though there was a brief love spell between two of the guards in the upper room, one of them just did not like the tone Cranston was taking. And the fact that Cranston initiated violence against Asgarim, right? Literally punched him? Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The guard took this as the opportunity to pull Cranston away from the party, bringing him to the jail, where Cranston fully believed Asgarim's lie, and Asgarim was trying to make it and intimate to him that he was just trying to lie, trying to fit in, but Cranston didn't see it. So in the middle of the night, a bunch of different things happen. Blusveckia's character, Vanya, breaks out of prison, goes on the run, ends up floating down the river. We don't know what's happened to her. Cranston is escorted to prison to wait out the night for hitting Asgarim, for disturbing the peace, as it were. And in the very middle of the night, two guards seem to want to come and pay him a visit, for lack of a better way of putting it. Finally, the rest of the party. Man, you guys are split up into 4 different groups. Dirge goes off to visit Blusveckia to try and save her. And the rest of the party that's left, that's not imprisoned or on the run or seeking to help, is in a small tavern room at the very top of the tavern. That is Sir Hammond, Maj, and Asgarim. In the middle of the night, Maj is awoken by something in the darkness. Something that doesn't sit right with him. He sees the window being pried open slowly. His heart in his throat, he launches a magic missile which knocks the combatant, it seems, off, and he awakens his friends. So, to be clear, we're putting Dirge and Blusveckia, or I should say agitated, Dirge and Vanya are kind of like in their own thing. I specifically did a one-on-one session with Blusveckia, which I recorded. And one day, I hope that I can show you what happened there. I'll release it on the Twitch or the YouTubes or something for those who really want to see what happened. So, until then, we've got to figure out what's happening this night. Or should I say, early morning. So,
Did I get a night's rest?
I gave everybody a night's rest.
I still don't have my spell slots.
Oh my gosh, you're so needy, Maj.
I know.
Give me a night's rest, buddy. Boom.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. So here is what we are going to do. Give me a second here. I'm still getting some things a little bit ready. So I'm going to use some pogs. The pogs should not frighten you because I'm just using them pretty much for their stat blocks for Fantasy Grounds. So don't get spooked when you see it because that's not what it is. Just using it as a representation. We all tracking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Give me a second to pull this back up. Boom. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, Maj, moving you off. Putting this down here and doing this. All right, beautiful, 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 beautiful. We should be good to go. How much do I want to screw with you guys is the question. I want to screw with you guys a lot. All right. So, we're going to put 2 guys here. Again, don't get freaked out by the pod, because they all essentially just look like guards. And you guys are essentially fighting the same thing, but albeit in a different way. Give me a second here. Okay. Added. At least I thought it was added. There we go. And I think you guys can see them. You should have been able to at least.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, we haven't been given the map.
Oh! I guess it would help if I gave you guys the maps. Okay, again, we've got 2 combats going concurrently. So first thing is I'm going to need everybody to roll me initiative. And by everybody, I mean not Dirge and not Vanya.
Alrighty. Initiative?
Yes. Yeah, roll them bones. Roll them bones. Yes.
Yeah, see, my luck is so much better with digital dice. As soon as I get my hands on a physical pair of dice, they just turn to 2s and 4s.
My brain is mush. Where's the initiative at on this thing?
Main
Front
page.
page, middle-ish, initiative, perception.
There you go.
Ah, there we go. Thank you.
By the way, Frank, look at that modifier for perception.
Gross. Gross. A plus 17. Gross.
Why does he have a -1 to his perception? He has
Minus-
something on.
He
Sir
must-
Hammond has a -1.
Oh, it's probably to do with his armor or something.
Might be.
Anyway, not important notice.
All right, so let me go ahead and explain what's going on now that we've rolled all the initiatives. First off, we are going to do Asgrim, for all intents and purposes. I guess I'll just keep everybody where they were, and I can do this like this. All right, so let me describe what's going on again, just for our viewers, as well as you guys. You guys are in the upper tavern room. I imagine it's pretty quiet in the tavern. It's probably very early morning, 4 a.m., so I guess it still qualifies at night. The window looks like it was being pried open, and there's one person that's been kind of like knocked back, and you hear like a thud from the outside. So we're going to go ahead and give them a hit here. We'll say it's... Which one is... Give me a second here. 3... Yeah, it's this one. That one fell, and so they're actually going to get some wounds right off the bat. 2d12 from falling. Public roll, 2. Falls out. You hear a thud outside, and there is another one that will be fixing to go here in a jiff. However, I was doing that mostly so I could find where they were. You hear a knocking at the door. it seems like it's all going to happen here pretty concurrently. Just going to roll that over from your amazing perception check from the last time. Maj, you know that there are people trying to sneak into the door as from the windows. The door is currently closed. The window is currently closed. One of them has fallen. Maybe you see like a hand on the window kind of being put up. That's what you guys are. Cranston, 2 guards in the middle of the night are coming to essentially get into your cell. They've opened the door and they're about to make their ways in. Now, you don't know what's on the rest of the station, but that is currently your role. Does everybody understand what's going on?
Yes.
Cool. All right. With that said, Maj, you are first in the turn order.
Now, the window. Which one is the window? Is it these guys or these? Okay.
Yeah. I think that's supposed to be like an armoire, a glass armoire, but it looked like a window. So I'm gonna say it's a window because I'm the GM.
All right. And
Yep.
I know that people are outside the door.
You know people are outside the door and outside the window. Hammond and Asgrim are just like stirring awake.
Guys, quickly, get ready. Those guys coming in the window, I will take care of the guys outside the door. And you just see Maj all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, what?
Just poof.
Okay. Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard just, and then nothing.
Yeah,
I was looking at the map.
that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what's going to happen is I will be using his time jump right away,
Awesome.
which is a verbal, and within this I get 2 actions. During my time jump, I will
Isn't it
open
2
the door.
movements
Yeah. Well, I get
to
you
move
gain 2
action?
actions. No, 2 actions.
Oh, that's right. There's no. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So what happens is Maj pops up. If I can move my token.
With his regular move action, he pops up.
I can't seem to move
Oh,
my token.
I got you. Let me unlock for everybody. There you go. You're able to freely move. Remember, the door is closed.
Well, during this movement, he opens the door
Okay.
and he steps right about here.
So
As
that would
he's-
be so movement. Stand up from the bed. That's your. I'm sorry. That's 1 action. Then you cast time stop. Which how many actions is that?
1.
2. Okay, so then you have a total of 3 actions left. You move to the door, that's 3. You open the door, that's 4. You move through the door, that's 5.
Okay. Well, then he'll just pop up on the other side of the door.
Okay.
So that's back to what? 3?
Yeah, so you have 2 actions left at this point.
2 actions.
You stood up, that was 1. Cast time stop, that was 2. You moved, that's 3. You got 2 actions
I thought
left.
since he had already cast magic missile, he would have been up.
I think I recall you actually saying, like, without getting up last time, you're like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
cast magic missile
Yeah.
from lying down.
Yeah, I do remember that now. Maj will cast hydraulic push on the door.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Okay. All right. Cast it on the door. Okay, so a couple things are going to happen. First, I still need you to roll the damage for hydraulic push.
All right.
We need to roll me a d20 just to make certain you don't roll a 1, just because rolling 1s on magic are fun. As are rolling. So roll to hit the door is what I'm saying. It sounds
Okay.
stupid, but if it's a critical success or critical miss, things can happen.
Let's see. Yes. Oh, I accidentally rolled it twice.
It's okay. You got a 20 on the first roll, so that's why we rolled. Beautiful. All right, so roll me your damage for the hydraulic push.
And this is on a crit as well.
Yes. So I think it just
So-
doubles damage, right?
As well as increases the knockback from 5 foot to 10 foot, therefore making the door an even faster projectile hitting these
Yeah.
guys.
So I had you roll, baby. I got you. All right. Go ahead and roll
All right.
me. Let's find out what happens. All right. So that's doubled to 18 points of damage. All right. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to use fall damage. For them to account it. And so I think what I'm going to have them do is each of them is going to first get a chance to make a reflex save. I think that would be fair.
They wouldn't know it because the door is shut.
That's a good point. They'd be caught flat-footed. God damn you. All right. So he casts hydraulic push on the door, and it just like shatters. It goes off the hinges, just like boom, and it runs right into them. And so just like smack, you hear a thickening crush as these two people get nailed by the door as it kind of like pushes them to the side. I imagine like maybe even they got like some splinters, some piercing damage, but they've mostly been bashed by the door. So how I'm going to rule that is, I know the door's in the way, but you critically succeeded. I'm going to have you roll the 3d6. Well, maybe I should just roll me the 3d6 again, and each person will take that much. But it'll be bludgeoning, piercing damage. Wow. Okay, cool. All right.
Nice.
So 4 and 5 get hit. Oh, I know what I need to do. Haha. I outsmarted you, game. All right, 15 on 4 and 15 on 5. Bam! You hear the thickening crush. You hear like some moans as they're. I'm gonna say they're also prone. Actually, that's what I'll have them roll a reflex save for, is to see if they fall prone. And we'll set the DC as, what is the DC of hydraulic push? That's what we'll just use the DC for.
I don't think it actually has a DC.
Well, one of them rolled a 1, so one of them's definitely prone. The other guy is still standing, 21. Unless your DC is higher than a 21. Oh, you know how you check your DC?
There is no DC on the spell.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to rule the cool something in the minute just to come up with something. So your DC is normally a 23.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them would fail and fall prone. But one of them is super prone, like falling like Peter from Family Guy prone. Okay, that is your turn, Maj.
Did he
Good way
break
to
a
start
leg?
things up. I don't. Not asking too much. All right, Sir Hammond, you're up. What are you gonna do with Sir Hammond? Wade. Wade, agitated Max.
Yes.
What are you gonna do with
Yes.
him?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Yeah,
So standing up would be one action.
yeah, obviously. So stand up, yeah. And just looking over his things, like I have been.
I'm gonna make you make a very important character decision for Sir Hammond. Are you ready?
Sure.
He's definitely not in his armor. Does he wear boxers or briefs?
Oh, it is
Mando.
It is freedom down there.
So he's naked. Okay, awesome.
He is free as the wind.
All right.
I
All right.
don't think that's what Sir Hammond would be doing in a 3-man room, but okay.
Hey,
He has the tank top on.
He's Donald ducking it. He's
It's a
Donald
long one.
ducking it.
He's shirt cocking it. He's
Amazing.
just shirt cocking it.
Or
Sure.
bees.
Gross. Okay.
Nah, he would probably have like whatever undergarments go under armor. You know, that little like sort of, it's like Long John sort of situation. You know what I'm talking about?
With all the
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
stain spots on
Oh,
it.
so okay,
Yeah.
so long johns. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
With
Stand
butt
up. That's
flaps.
one. You got 2 actions left.
All right, cool. Second action, button up the butt flaps on my long johns.
You have buttoned up his butt flaps. That is
No,
your second action.
No, I'm gonna.
The butt
This
flips
is-
were free action.
These people on the right here, those are at the window, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Maj, do you have the ones in the corridor?
You do not have to worry. I have a few more tricks up my sleeve.
Very well. And then as he's moving, like
Go
I'm
forth, my
assuming he
noble
would,
steed.
I'm assuming he would have like on the table here his sword.
Sorry.
So like as he's going across, picks up the sword, and then just charges these ones here.
Stands guard at the window.
Oh, so like, could I get a hit in or no? That-
So no, the action economy would be stand up. That's 1. Action 2 would be pick up your sword. Action 3 would be move over to the window.
Okay, well then I'll act. Can I ready an action to attack them if they
Shouldn't you put
Step
your
into my
armor
range?
on?
Yes.
armor
yes.
takes like 30 minutes to dawn, doesn't it?
That was Pathfinder 1E rules. I will have to look up 2E rules, but if you will help me look that up, I would appreciate it.
I think it's a minute for fast on heavy armor.
Yeah, so that's 6 rounds.
10.
I would just be, or yeah.
Hold on, everyone. Let me get my armor on. That's your whole combat. Just all right. I'm ready.
Yeah, there's no way I could put on full plate armor and still be useful in a combat.
All right. Okay. That is your turn.
So yeah,
You are
I'll ready an
an
action,
to-
strike if they come in.
This guy, action 1. So I let you get 1 cast in, and I will still let you do that, Cranston. What are you gonna do?
Okay. I'm gonna say, if you're evil, this won't hurt at all. And I'm going to actually cast the spell, Divine Wrath.
You mean if you're good, this won't hurt at all?
Yeah, if you're evil, this will hurt a lot. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Divine Wrath, which they're going to have to make a Fortitude save. And
So we'll go ahead and have you target them, and then you can roll.
yeah, it's actually a burst. It's a 20-foot burst,
legit.
and it only will affect evil creatures.
Okay, well, if they are evil, which again, don't judge them by their character artwork.
I'm judging them by their actions, and if they're not evil, then
That's fair. Absolutely fair.
it's a kind of a test as well as a.
Sure. So I've targeted them for you. Feel free to roll that die whenever you want, and it should roll their saves on their behalf.
Okay. So how do I do that?
Okay, so at the very bottom of your character sheet, you'll see Mode, Standard, and Display Summary. Click on the gray button that says Summary, and it will change, there you go, to Actions.
Right.
So now you should see Divine Wrath, and you'll see multiple options. You're going to want to click the one that's a dice. That is the
Save.
Fortitude save.
There we
There
go.
you go, baby. You got it. Natural 1 and a natural... So one of them's about to get wrecked, and the other's about to take half damage because
Correct.
they are kind of evil. So go ahead and roll me that damage. Actually,
4
let's
to
do
10
this. 40, 10... Yeah,
Good.
40, 10, good. 20.
And I will say that an 8 is a critical fail, and obviously the other one's a save. On a critical fail, they take full damage, and they are sickened 2. It is also
So-
slowed 1.
You're not going to really have to worry about that one because one of them is like about to essentially just like die. He like gets enveloped in this holy light from Divine Wrath, and I mean 50 points of damage, 50, and just you can hear him, and he's just like, my sin. as he just kind of like falls to the ground. Indiana
Nice.
Jones.
Okay, I will say this thing that says that only takes full damage, not double damage, on the critical failure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm just reading the spell description.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. All right, so then, let me go ahead and how do I cancel that? Shazbots. Oh, I know how I can cancel that. Move his wounds to 25. Okay. Does magic not have the ability to critically succeed?
Well,
and do double
what
damage?
happens is it doesn't do double damage in this case.
It gives
but
it
what
the
it does,
effects.
it gives him the sicken 2, and he's also slowed 1.
All right, let's go ahead and let me put those on him then. Sickened 2. So he does not get Indiana Jones. Sickened.
Which makes me very sad, but I'll survive.
I appreciate. You know what? Bottle cap. You kept yourself honest to your fault. Because now I'm probably going to kill you. All right, Sickened 2, and what was the other one?
Slowed 1.
Slowed 1. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so he gets you see maybe smoke coming off of him. The other one is just seething in anger. He's like, we're going to kill you. And so
You can try.
So we're going to go with this guy. Opens it up.
Hang on a second. It's still my turn.
So no, I gave you one cast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Combat.
I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
No, you're
Gotcha.
good. You're good. We're all on the same page. That's all we're doing. All right. That looks really cool. What does that do?
What?
Sorry, they've got a really cool ability that I'm thinking about using.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He just says, we were going to do this somewhere else. And he opens the door. Action 1. Action 2, moves in and into your a threatened square to be able to attack you. Action 3 is he's going to pull out his weapon, and he's going to attack you with it. So let's see if it hits. 21.
Just
I believe that is indeed hit.
That is my armor class.
This weapon has the trip quality. Does that happen automatically, or can I make that in lieu of an attack with this? I always forget.
Yeah, there's 4 systems running around in my head too.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, I guess it's actually really pertinent right now. So let's go ahead and take a look.
You can trip with the athletics skill, even if you don't have a free hand. This uses the weapon's reach if different from your own and adds the weapon's item bonus to attack rolls as an item bonus to the athletics check. So trip is an athletics check, it looks like.
Okay, it sounds like that makes sense.
So I guess, yeah. If you critically fail a check to trip using the weapon, you can drop blah 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 blah.
So it's specifically to make trip attacks. Okay, I like that. All right, this guy is actually going to move in. That'll be his first action. His second action, let's go ahead and use this. Takes his scythe and tries to pulls it right and tries to pull it right underneath your feet. Now, this is his athletics check, and the CMD, is it just against your... Oh, it's an attack, so I guess it would be against your armor class.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't make sense. So we're going to change that. Okay. D20, here we go. Natural 1. Awesome. Fantastic. That is a critical fail.
Yay.
Go ahead and roll me a D100, buddy. I haven't opened up this in a long time. My list of... My table of awful things that can possibly happen.
8.
8. Oh, that's just a bad miss then. So it's just a bad miss. And with his second attack, which will be at a -5, he will attempt to make another attack with his scythe. He's going to avoid the trip, and he's just going to outright miss. Okay, that is his turn. All right. That is both of those guys. They've gone. It is now number 3's turn. He is in the window. Opens the window. Action 1. Action 2. Crawls into range. Would have to crawl into range of Sir Hammond. Sir Hammond can feel free to take his attack of opportunity. Or not attack of, ready to attack. I know you're having to familiarize yourself with an entirely different thing.
Yeah,
So
no, I like he's got so many weapons. I'm like, which one does he use?
use the one at the top plus 1 longsword.
Yeah, I assumed. I was just like, I'm making certain it wasn't further down. There wasn't.
Does he
thing.
really hit on a 26? He's a plus 26 to hit?
26? Yeah.
Surely that's not right.
That's gotta be right. Brandon has never done anything wrong ever. I'm
Plus
just gonna go ahead and roll it
26?
just in case.
Yeah, let's double check here. Plus 11 from martial weapons. Plus 1 from the sword. Puts him at a 12. Actually, his total combined melee is 14. So we'll use that. So 14 plus the long sword would be 16. So he somehow added... You want to know what I bet he did? I bet when he put the plus 1 in...
You put plus 11.
Yeah, or something. No, what the... How did he do this? This cannot be right.
Paging Mr. Bees, we need an explanation.
Time to get his
Yeah.
dumb face in here.
Well,
So
it's got to be something in his stats because everything else is like plus 25, plus 25.
There's no way he has a plus
Gotta be
26
something
to
with
hit at level 7. No way. That's crazy. That's not even like I had to severely I didn't severely.
Isn't it his abilities?
Yeah, it would have to be his abilities.
But I don't know if his abilities would give him that big of a boost. He had to
No.
do something wrong.
I know. That's what I'm saying is where the thing comes from. It has to be like he has to have accidentally put in something in his abilities wrong. Well, like his third attack's only a plus 16, so
How dare you?
I say this is perfectly
We're gonna
fair
use
and balanced.
just use his we'll give him plus 16 because that seems
I'll
right.
use it, yeah.
Plus 1 longsword and then but I
His
can't
third attack.
imagine. Yeah, use his third attack as the
Oh,
hit.
why did I roll twice too? I don't know.
It's okay. We'll take your first one. That is a 34 to hit. That would absolutely hit.
I mean, his 26 isn't too far because my arquebus is plus 19. So
Is it?
That's
26? I can't imagine
What?
26s. Yeah, that was a crit
I'm
because
15.
it's
okay.
10 above his AC. So he does 18 points of damage to this guy that just walks in and is like, blah, just gets blown up the moment he walks through. He
completely dies.
doesn't like getting hit though, so he's also going to attack with his scythe against AC. So here's the
Critical
thing.
miss.
Here's
Doesn't have his armor
he doesn't
on.
have his armor on.
How do I untoggle that? Oh, bam. And so now my AC is. built
Nor
in,
does he have a
right?
shield. You did not say that he picked up his shield.
No, I did not. So
He's-
I'm just thinking, where do I figure out?
We're gonna
his
go to
armor
inventory.
class?
We're gonna go to +1 full plate. You'll see the little brown circle with the. There you go.
Okay.
There you go, buddy. Yep. Now his AC is 24. That'll just be a
Still a
regular
miss.
miss. Still a miss. Miss 1. Okay.
How is his AC 24 without any fucking armor on?
Dude, that unarmored, being trained on unarmored AC is huge in this game.
Okay.
It's a huge boon.
Yeah,
All right,
Maj has a 21.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, everything needs to be scaled appropriately is the big issue. Okay, number 4 is going to go. First action, stands up. Not on their head. There we go. God dang it. All right. Second action, moves in.
Is he the one that was super prone?
No, the one up top was super prone. But there's no such thing as super prone. I was just being silly.
I know.
God dang it, Chester!
Made you think.
Yes, you did. This one. Ooh, I like that. Well, yeah. Oh, you know what? That does make a lot of sense, Chris. Yes, it does. It does. Okay, so this one is going to make an attack against you.
Okay.
Did I already target you or no? Sorry, I was doing a little brain thinking, so my apologies. All right. My mind grapes. That'd be a 30 to
30
hit.
will hit.
All right, 30 will hit. Slashing you
For 5.
for 9 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
9 points of damage. All right. Got up, moved, attacked. That was their ability. All right. Number 3 is going to go and going to stand up. Boop, 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 from his super prone position. Moves in. I think he'll have enough. 5, 15, 20. Yeah, should be good. Yeah, gets in there. Action 2 is going to attempt to trip you. I should have done that first.
Action 3.
Action 3, thank you. Will be to trip you. Woo! 26. That'll be a trip. You fall
right.
prone. Okay. It is number 6. That one's on the ground. Stands up. Second action is to climb up as best as they can. And I'm going to say they get to the window because it's going to take some time. Cranston, you are up. You're cornered. What are you going to do?
Okay. One question: did you take off the one for the second one on the? Oh no, he didn't. He wasn't second at all. Never mind. Okay. Yes, I am going to continue my
Assault.
assault. I'm going to go with the guy that looks like he's on his last legs, or it looks like he's really hurt. And I am going to cast a spell called... Actually, no, I'm going to do Sound Burst. I'm going to cast Sound Burst.
Okay.
Which
Sound
is
burst.
a very loud noise, and it does sonic damage. Each creature must attempt a Fortitude save. So let me get back over here to Actions, to Sound Burst, get to Combat. Oh. Sound Burst and...
Looks like that's a fail.
That's
both
a
of
fail.
them failed.
And it looks like they're just normal fails, though, right? Because it's
Looks like it's normal fail. Yeah, it would have to be if the if your DC is a 23, which I think it is,
Right.
then
And
yeah.
so it's for normal fail. So
Oh, big damage dice. Okay, so one of them is messed up and they fall. Like they start holding their ears. They're like ah, and they fall to the ground. Their eyes are open, blood coming out of their ears and their nose.
Okay.
Dead.
And the second guy, I'm going to try to trip.
Oh, that's right. That leaves blood. I forgot about that. That's awesome. Okay,
And-
next one you're gonna trip.
Yeah, that's a athletics attack, isn't it? Or is that just a straight attack?
It is an athletics. It's an athletics against their armor class.
Ooh.
I
Super
know.
prone.
I thought.
I know.
What is their armor class? Is the question. Is that high enough? Is the question. Yes, it is. He falls. Oh! Falls on his face. Okay. Good job, guys. Asgrim, you are up. What are you going to do? People are invading your room. You're also
Right.
prone because you're sleeping.
Yeah, he jumps up. He's like, motherfucker, one night of sleep.
Nice.
and he's still all fucked up. He's like at half hit points and everything because of the blood thing that was drained from him many sessions ago. I think it was like 3 sessions ago, right? He grabs his sword and his shield. He's got quick draw, so
Beautiful.
however many actions that might take.
Oh,
One.
I'm sorry. Just as an aside, he's deafened for 1 round. Also.
Oh shoot.
So where would I be at in actions right now?
1. So you have 2 left.
Okay. So I would move to here for the other,
Boom.
and then attack the one above me to the north.
All right. To the north.
Is that what do I hold? Shift.
Yeah, left control. While your token is highlighted, left control, I believe. Right? Or is it left? No,
Left
it's left.
control, click.
I thought it was left control.
All right. Is he targeted now?
Yep.
Yes.
And then I will swing with my long sword.
Fold.
Ah!
Beautiful!
Awesome.
Critical!
Wow.
Critical threat.
There you
Even
go.
as he's like stumbling and drowsy and all weak, he brings the blade down. And let's see what he does here.
Lots of damage. Oh.
So, yeah, you run him through. What does that look like when you kill him?
Yeah, he stumbles over and he's like, 1 night of sleep, god damn it. And then he takes the blade through, right through the creature's torso and
Awesome.
kicks him off of him.
So these aren't creatures. These are humans. Oh, I forgot about something very important. I need a reflex save from Cranston, and I need a reflex save from Hammond and Asgarim.
I'm
And I
sure
would
his
also
reflexes-
need, let's get a
Actually-
reflex save.
He's got a plus 13, though.
I got a 23.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have him
one.
roll a hero point on that. Use the hero point.
Okay.
You're supposed to announce that before you make your reflex.
Oh shit!
This is
I'm
true.
sorry.
This is true.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's
yeah.
okay.
Then
No, it's okay. Hammond,
that
we'll take your
first
first one.
Yep.
That is a critical
I'll
fail.
add that hero point back.
Which will be beautiful. Cranston, that is a save.
I'm
so you
sorry.
only take half damage, but
Whose side are you on?
For what?
for the shards of bone that are coming your way from their chest exploding. So that'll be
Oh,
6
nice.
points of damage to Cranston. This one dies, and he's just like, no, he's just and similar to like you'd be able to pretty much sum up in the moment that this was probably a cultist
have
when
a
their
question.
chest explodes. Yes.
Does the other guy take damage as well?
You know what?
Ooh.
You cheeky
He
mix.
is still
would.
outside the window.
No,
sorry.
we're talking about Cranston.
We were
Yeah.
talking about Cranston. Yeah, so no, he
Oh.
absolutely would. So let me give him a reflex save.
While he's stunned, sickened, no, he's
Deafened.
just deafened and
Deafened and prone.
And prone.
That'll be oh no, that'll be a fail.
Yay!
So a chain of explosions happens in Cranston's cell. Cranston, make me another reflex save.
Oh joy! Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
I haven't made yet mine.
Nice.
Anyway, oh, that was nice.
So Cranston, it makes sense. Like you know what's coming, and so like one like explodes. So you'll still take half damage, but I still have to roll the damage.
Is that a critical save or?
That's a good no because it's like a 21, 22.
Damn, I was hoping.
Yeah, no, you're good. Another 8 points of damage to you, Cranston. Like, you still get hit, but you're able to shield yourself from the bulk of the damage. Okay, Cranston, your combat is officially over after 1 round.
Okay, just so you know, I'd like to look for keys. I'd like to pick up one of their scythes.
Yep, when we come back to you, 100%. Asgarim, I still need that reflex save from you.
Okay, cool.
Sir Hammond is going to take double damage. And this makes sense, too, because he's unarmored. So he's just, like, he's caught, like, he totally forgets about what is coming his way. And he gets it's just lit up with shards of ribcage inside of him. So 26 plus 7, that would be 33. Okay, so yeah, Sir Hammond's got like shards of bone sticking out of him. He's probably bleeding as well. Probably hurts a lot. Asgrim, still need you to make the same reflex save as this guy explodes near you.
Do I get my shield raised?
Hammond.
Does it even matter? I don't even know if it matters.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can use it for this because it's.
Oh, there's a second reflex save.
Oh, that is a critical success though. So I'm gonna say, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say you actually get your shield up in time, and like ding 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 ding, you hear all the shards of bone like pop off of it.
I have an ability called Evasion that actually allows me a critical success anyway.
Oh,
is there any way I could help shield Hammond if he's right neast to me?
Huh. I like that. That you get a critical success on your reflex save.
At least some of the damage or something.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that.
You got fucked up, right?
You got fucked up. You got fucked up good. I'll tell you, I'm gonna shave 10 points off of that, just because that's easy math.
Yay.
All right, so yeah, you're able to like intercede, and I imagine in that moment it's got to be cool because he's always the one doing that, like retributive strike, like stepping in. So the fact that you do it for him on that critical is pretty cool. All right, Maj, you are cornered by two of these guys. You just heard an explosion in the room, and you are prone.
I think Maj already knows what happened seeing these guys.
Yeah.
Maj stands up and looks at these guys. He looks them dead in the eye and says, "Do you not know who I am? I am the one that taught the Whispering Tyrant all that he knew. I am the one that you should fear. I will kill you." As I use a new ability that I got, which allows me to put out disturbing knowledge. Now, they have to roll a will save against my Arcana.
Fuck.
If they fail, a regular failure, target is unaffected. A success on my part, target becomes frightened 1. A critical success, the target becomes confused 1 and frightened 1. And it is a 30-foot range. So every creature in this room, or every cultist,
the one fixing to crawl through.
Yep, hears this. As I.
Can you? Is that like a spell you're using, or is it a skill?
No, that is a skill.
Okay, so this is at least one action. Okay, cool. All right, I like it. I like it a lot.
Crazy. That is awesome.
Your Arcana sets the DC? Shit.
Yes.
that is pretty big.
Critical fail.
Ooh.
That one, I'm gonna say nat 20 succeeds. So he's just like, "You fools!"
Which one is that?
I was going in order clockwise, starting with 4. So 5 would have gotten the success. And then 6, we'll see what they get on their will save. Oh my god, 2 natural 20s.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 of them are unaffected. They're like, "We know you, rat." This other one's like, "Oh, guys, we gotta get the fuck out of here. This guy's gonna kill us."
This 35, and they have to roll 220.
That's so frustrating. I'm sorry. So what was it? Frightened 1, and what else? Confused?
And confused 1.
Confused. Got it.
Dude, not 20s.
I shoot my hero points to make him
I
reroll.
know. I was thinking, I was like, I have to roll an at 20 on this. Like, that's the only way. And I guess I just willed it into existence.
All of a sudden, this guy sees Maj without even getting up, vanish once again, as a dimensional door just pops open and drops him 20 feet away.
Wait, does that invoke an attack of opportunity?
No, it does not. I go into a completely different dimension. I'm still prone, laying there.
So you're still lying. Okay, got it. Okay, as
I
long
just
as you're still
opened the
lying
door
down.
underneath me,
Okay.
and it drops me right where I want it to go.
I like
Now I still have one more action.
it. I don't like it. Go ahead.
Force bolt on the guy that's still outside the window.
You son of a bitch. Okay, roll me the damage.
Just arguing for every little thing.
It's in the rules.
I
I'm
know.
playing the character.
It's just,
I'll-
yeah, I love it. I love it
know
that
you do.
I'm not the GM of this.
Yeah.
3 points of damage as he unexpectedly gets rocked by a missile while he's still clinging to the window.
Oh my
In his
gosh.
face.
I'm gonna make him make a save to see if he holds on, because they know they're encountering resistance now. Let's go with.
A lot of
Ref-
resistance.
I'm gonna go reflex save to see if he's able to hold on. 3. So it was, 13 was the DC, so he holds on. 10 plus the damage. Okay, cool. So he's able to hold on. All right. By the way, are you sure your force bolt doesn't get stronger as you level up? Because that seems kind of low for
it
damage.
quite possibly could. I did not look into that.
It's okay. Take a look at it just for your own well-being. I don't know why I'm helping you. All right. It is number 4's
Because you're a
turn.
very good GM.
It's true. Too
A
good.
generous god.
So I imagine...
I'm generous.
I imagine this guy hears this. He's like, guys, I always forget about how confused works in 2e. I had it memorized in 1e, but because
By
it
the
was
way,
like a table.
As an aside, it looks like the heightened, so you have to cast it at a heightened spell level, I believe. Force bolt.
I think no, I think his force bolt is a focus spell.
Oh, different story.
Yep.
Then.
Yep. Nope. That's cool. That's cool. We're all on the same page. We're all on the same team, guys. Right? We're all on the same team.
I'm glad I'm on Maj's team.
Right?
Maj is dangerous.
618. All right, confused. You don't have to your wits about you. You attack wildly. You're flat-footed. Use all your actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips, so the GM can have you. So, okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so here's what happens. This guy right here is like, you heard him. They're stronger than the Whispering Tyrant. And he will whip out his scythe. Let me just whip this out, and he will attack this guy right here. His buddy.
Man, this guy's faith was so easily shaken.
Yes, that is a 23 to hit, which will hit. I don't know why it's rolling twice, but 12
Because
points
are
of
you
damage.
targeting Maj
You're
too?
targeting me.
Oh, shoot! All right, my bad.
Excuse me, sir.
Let's go ahead and subtract that. Or can you give yourself those hit points back, buddy, or do you need me to do it?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. All right, so then I don't need to adjust it. So here's what happens. This guy is like, kind of goes crazy, and as this happens, he's like, and he like looks about, and his chest explodes. Right there in front of you, Maj. Now you're not within the burst radius, so this guy is just gonna fall down dead. The one you confused.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go against the family. All right, it is Five's turn. He saw this and he says, 5, 10, 15, 20, and it says, "Liar and usurper!" And he's going to try and attack you with a scythe.
All right. I am prone, so he has a modifier to hit me.
Okay, that'd be you have a minus 4 to your AC, so we don't have it on you, but that will still hit. I don't think it will. Ooh, it was almost max damage. 12 points of damage, and then he is going to go for a second attack. I'm just going to give him a -1 because that's what it will net end up being. Make sense?
Yep.
Scythe attack. Oh, it was on a 4, rolled to an 11. Oh my gosh, the scythe comes down. I imagine it's like right next to your head, like sticks in the wood. You like pulls it back out. He's got a crazed look in his eye. This guy holds on, steps through. That's his movement. Sees, he says, "The paladin, you will die." And he is going to go for Hammond. That is a miss, though, with his first attack.
It is me.
Did they just kill the lovers?
That's a great question. You don't know.
Lovers.
Oh, those are the guards.
The 2 guards that were lovers,
shit.
yeah. 14. That is a critical miss against
Oh my
Sir
god,
Hammond.
the one that he confused. He hit his own lover and then turned around and exploded.
You're assuming all of the guards have turned. Just saying.
Yes, I'm assuming.
All right. That is a
Seems
critical
pretty safe
miss.
to assume so far.
Roll me a D100, Wade, while I look up what's going on on the table.
And I grabbed the last one and... Oh, okay. Looks like it's already there. Yeah? Is that it?
98. The higher, the worse it is.
For you.
In this instance, you are correct.
Stab through the heart, and Sir
Jesus.
Hammond's to blame.
So he misses so badly. I imagine what he ends up doing is he Hammond turns the
Flourish or something like that.
So, I just
You
figured
cut out
something
completely, Chris.
Yeah, we can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
He turns the flat of his blade and and like moves it into the guy's hand, and it like you hear like a bone crunching sound. He's just like "Gah!" as he drops his scythe on the ground, and he's just like sitting there holding his hand because like it is crippled. He cannot use his main hand, and I'm going to have him take D6 points of damage from that because it doesn't make sense that he has his hand crippled but doesn't take any damage. I don't know why it's not letting me give him wounds all of a sudden. Oh, let me try this. Okay, let me try this. Oh, I know what's going on.
So, Brink,
Yes.
you were right. My focus spell does level half my current level rounded up.
Okay.
So it would be a +4.
Oh, okay. So you gain just like flat damage to that.
Mm-hmm. Same with all my
Okay.
cantrips.
Oh, I thought
So
they went.
it's
I thought
so
that the
it
guy
would
gained
act-
an extra dice.
it says here focus spells are automatically heightened to half your level rounded up, just like cantrips are. You can't cast a focus spell if it is minimum level or greater than half your level rounded up, even if you have access to it.
Yeah, when you heighten a spell, which is what would happen with your focus spell, it gains an extra damage dice for every level. So that would actually be a 3d4 from your force bolt.
Yes.
Okay.
So I need to roll 2 more d4 on it.
Well, it just hit the window. Well, oh no, you're right. This is the one that came through the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how much did you roll damage? I don't think I applied it. So that'd
13.
be 8.
Or sorry, no, it was
It was
3
3.
damage.
Because I
Yeah.
did 10. All right, roll me 2 more d4 and we'll go ahead and add it to him. 5.
Which means he would have failed that save.
Oh man, if only he remembered to. upgrade your force bolt appropriately during that time. That would have been perfect. That's really unfortunate.
I don't see how to upgrade these things.
Oh, I know how. So this is actually kind of fun and infuriating at the same exact time. What you're going to do is you are going to... Let's go to Maj really quick. We're going to go to your force bolt. Okay, do you see the little magnifying glass at the end of force bolt?
Mm-hmm.
Open that up. Okay, and then you'll see 1d4 plus 1 force, right? Now you're going to open up the magnifying glass next to that. You see it?
I do not, actually. I hit the magnifying glass and it's not displaying any information.
Okay, well then in that case, I guess I have to level it up for you. So there you go, buddy.
So it's heightened to 4.
Rounded up,
Rounded up.
so it's 4d4.
Yeah, so I need to do another.
Son of a bitch. Give him an inch, he takes a mile! 3, alright, 16. No, that's the game, that's fair. Okay, cool. So, yeah, no, he's all force bolted and shit. Alright, so he stands up, or he gets in, that was action 1. Action 2 was, oh, he missed both of his actions, that's right. Cranston, we're back at you in the jail. Doors open, 2 guards fallen before you. What are you doing?
Go through their pockets, look for loose change. No, just kidding. I do want to look for the keys. I do want to grab one of the scythes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's do. You're able to find the keys easily. They would have had to have used it to open up the gate, right?
Right.
So you're able to find the keys. We'll say that's one action. Grabbing a scythe as a second action.
Mm-hmm. And I believe the third action is going to be
GTFO.
Actually, I want my ship back.
Interesting. Well, if it's still here, I guess we'll find out.
So I guess I'm going to head 25 because I do have 25 movement up to
Sounds
here.
good.
And that's me.
All right, you got some keys, you got a scythe, you're good to go. Cranston, early morn, everybody. Asgrim, you are up.
All right. Knowing that these creatures blow up now, or these mortals, Asgrim is going to actually move away from this guy. Back to the bed. No attack of opportunity?
No attack of opportunity.
Alright. He drops his shield and his bow and just like quick draws his bow, or his blade and his shield. And he's going to quick draw his bow and fire a shot.
So that would be all. So amazingly, that's all just one action. Because you're moving
Nice.
back, you drop your sword and shield for free, quick draw your bow, and fire. So the
Nice.
fire would be the second action in the economy.
Alright.
That's the aims.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
aim.
that's
Oh,
right.
I didn't even target the guy. Actually,
That's okay.
either.
That would be a hit though, so I'm going to go ahead and target him now. Feel free to go ahead and roll the damage now. Six. All right, 6
Oh,
points of damage.
God, that's terrible damage.
Okay, but you do have an additional action. You can attack again, or you can, cast some spells or whatever.
I'll fire again, yeah.
Okay, go for it.
One more shot.
20. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Ha-ha. One more damage.
4. 2 more bows sticking out of this guy's like, Gah!
Thuke, thuke.
You were supposed to be sleeping!
That's it
Maj.
for him.
Is it me already?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, like. Oh, never mind. He goes.
Ah.
Never mind.
Maj looks at this guy and goes, "Do you not believe that I am as strong as I say?" And he holds out his hands, laying on the ground, as a vortex of energy surrounds. It almost looks like a elemental tempest
Cool.
of just ice shards and chaos of lightning and fire just fills the area. Now, what he's going to do is he is going to say, "Cold. You feel very cold," as he casts Ray of Frost.
Oh, fun.
So what is going to happen is he gets the damage for Ray of Frost, but he's also going to get an extra 4d6 on top of 4d4 damage.
Okay.
It's a little overkill, but okay.
Yeah. I want the guy in the room over there to just see this. So he hears the vortex outside as his buddy just gets blasted with Ray of Frost. Which... let's make an attack roll.
4d6 plus 4d4. Well, you gotta make the attack roll.
Alright, and what is it? Control Shift?
Control
Control.
left click.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so attack roll, Ray of Frost.
Chenko.
Jesus. How do you kill this guy?
This guy just, in an instant, just completely freezes. And then more cold just engulfs him, freezing him even further.
Would the cold in his frozen state keep him from exploding?
It's an interesting question.
Jesus.
That is for the Elemental
Yes.
Tempest.
He is just a frozen statue, and
His
does
body
not
says destroyed. Does that mean he's just gone?
All right, Blue. Chill the fuck out. He's frozen there like a statue. Are you happy?
And his buddy is right in eyesight of this happening, right outside the door.
Yes.
And he looks at the friend and goes, "I told you." As he's laying on the ground.
Never once getting up.
Never once getting up.
Sir Hammy. Blue,
Franks are so mad at us.
I didn't say it earlier, Blue, but by the way, thank you for the sub. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And so do the orphans at True Life Orphanage. All right. Sir Hammy, what are you going to do, Mr. Wade? Swing away?
I'm going to kill this guy in front of me.
Awesome.
I'm already. So I'm not targeting him. Shift.
I
Click
think I
or
need to use
control
this one.
click?
Currently, you are
After
targeting
that.
yourself. I got
Okay,
you. I got
so-
him targeted for you. You could just go ahead
Okay,
and
cool.
swing away. Swing away.
Alright, plus 26. Plus 16. 28.
Critical threat. Critical hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Alright.
You stab him through the chest, finishing him off. You can see the light going out through his eyes, and he just looks at you and he just says, "We will be raised up." You see his heart like beating faster and faster, that chest, that tattoo, as it starts to glow just like it did with Vanya when she was alone in the street, and explodes right next to you. I'm not going to give you a reflex save because it doesn't make
No,
sense.
I'm gonna take it. Just stab him right through the chest.
13 points of shard damage as bone
Shard
shards
damage.
all over you. All right, good combat, guys. Everybody did all right. All right, let's go ahead and do this. And then let's go ahead and move to this. All right,
I
here
will
is...
hastily put my armor on as soon as he explodes. I'm just grabbing pieces of armor and latching it over me.
Lay on hands, lay on hands. No.
Lay on hands, lay on hands.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, that makes sense. You lay on hands yourself, the shards pop out of your
What's that
skin. So I think we decided it's like, I think at this level it'll be 20 healing, from what I recall. No, wait, it's
And
6.
it's like you can disseminate those however, or the
It's
20
one,
points
it's
of healing.
one lay on hands, there's 24 points of healing, and so you do most of the
Oh.
healing on yourself, and then you'll have to rest for some time. But
10 minutes.
yeah, so here's the situation. You're in a room covered in gore and blood and bone shards. The hallway is covered in gore and bone shards. It looks like the other tavern rooms weren't there, or it looks like nobody was there in the tavern and those other rooms.
One ice pop as well.
So Hammond is going to look between everybody covered in blood, seeing that the room's trash from all the explosions. I don't think we're getting the deposit back.
Maj
He's like
walks in.
breathing heavily, pulling shards out of himself.
Maj walks in, perfectly clean, and goes, "Well, I thought you guys would have done better, but they have one on ice out here."
You did get sliced, to be fair.
I did,
Yes.
but I'm not covered in blood,
Gotcha,
gore,
gotcha,
and
gotcha,
bone
gotcha.
shards.
Well, yes, that's quite fine and all, but what are we going to do with this fellow?
There is much that I can learn from him not exploding.
So yeah,
It's
so
a
the
dangerous art. I say we put him out of his misery.
He is already put out of his misery.
Oh, he's dead. I thought you had like frozen him solid like fucking
He's
Han
dead,
Solo
dead.
or some
He's
shit.
dead,
Okay,
dead.
cool. Oh, then never mind then.
Asgrim's putting his armor on and stuff, and he's like, I'm gonna go down the street. I'm gonna go find another inn. I'm gonna find a fucking bed, and I'm gonna go to sleep.
As
I
the
just
birds
wanted a
start
nap.
chirping and the sun starts coming up. you hear
You
I
just
just love
start crying.
roosters in the background. Croo, croo, croo.
I love pissy
You hear the
I'm gonna go to the hospital, and I'm gonna get healed.
God damn it! I want
Asgrim's so mad. He's like, he's just putting everything on him. And he's just bitching it to himself. the whole time.
tightening the straps, all like grumbling to himself like Popeye.
I love it.
Get
Okay.
the fucking healing sleeper.
So here's what's going on. This room, yes. So if you guys would like to find another inn, you can.
Maj at first is going to study this guy on ice.
Fair. And on, I think it's let me roll here. 'Cause I don't know if there is another inn. I don't know if the town is that big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's beds in the jail.
So I rolled a how I feel dice to see what happens, and there's not another inn, but you do know from earlier that there is a small bed and breakfast.
Small bed and breakfast.
Yes, one room.
Mom and pop.
What about the hospital?
You could go and see about the cleric, the lady who's supposed to heal you and give you a transfusion. That is a possibility as well. It looked like it's kind of like a combined, like business home type venture.
Yeah. Maybe go wait there or something. A
You
bed
could.
and breakfast.
Well, I think it is prudent we extricate the cleric from his predicament.
You would see that all of these were wearing guard uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be a problem too. These guards, I guess they didn't believe my lie about us being a part of the Whispering Tyrant's crew.
So I'm going to pause on you guys, and we're going to go visit Cranston. Cranston, you're in jail. You got the keys. You've got a scythe. What are you doing?
First thing I'm going to do is cast a little spell that I've got to give myself a bit of an edge while coming through this. And that spell is going to be called Whirling Scarves.
Okay.
Ever heard of it?
No, I've not.
Okay. Hang on, let me pull it up. It's a duration is 1 minute. You surround yourself in a vortex of whirling colorful scarves of force that obfuscate you and disorient your foes. You gain the benefits of the concealed condition, but only against ranged or melee attacks. And melee attacks. When a melee attack fails to hit you because of the flat check for the concealed condition, the scarves snag the weapon or unarmed attack, and the creature takes a -1 circumstance penalty to further attacks with that weapon or unarmed attack until the end of its turn, or the end of its next turn if it wasn't the creature's turn.
That's fun.
Timing of this. So yeah. It also the timing of the scarf's movement is harder to predict for ranged attackers, so the flat check for the concealed condition against ranged attacks increases from DC 5 to DC 6. So it's not the highest DC. It's just a 20% concealment basically from the old way. But I'm going to cast that.
Okay.
I'm going to and then I'm going to move up to this door, and I don't know if I guess I can't open. Is the door open or is it closed?
It is closed, but you do have the keys.
So I guess
So-
I should. Yeah, I'd like to open it.
Okay,
Go through.
while you're opening that, I have to redeem something from one of our viewers. So if you'll give me a second, I will dance.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to do a small dance while crying and debase myself for everyone's enjoyment.
Oh, debasement's nice.
Good.
We like debasement.
Is proceeding as I have.
Are you doing the truffle shuffle? Do the truffle shuffle.
No. No, I'm not going to do the shuffle shuffle.
Do it.
Do the truffle
If I tip you
shuffle.
enough little points.
Oh my god. Now I feel dirty.
Damn it.
Mission.
Take your points. Do it for me.
All right, you open the door
Sorry.
into the rest of the jail.
Yep. Actually, I look around, trying to find chests or something that would be storage.
So first things first, you don't see any people. You do see that there is a storage facility to your right.
The torture chamber I made.
Yeah, the torture chamber you made. Yeah, I've retrofitted that into a storage facility.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go through there then and try to find my stuff. And if I find anything that looks like it would fit on a cat, I'm gonna grab it as well.
So yes, you find your gear and you find Vanya's gear.
All right, I grab that as well. I get dressed. I get my stuff back, put my holy symbol back on, make sure my clan dagger is in order, because that was really the reason I came over here. The rest of the stuff is just stuff, but that's
Gotcha.
my clan dagger.
So that's
is
going to
there-
take some time, just like looking through things and the like. And so while Cranston is doing that,
night.
like maybe we see him like go into the storage facility, like opens the door, his eyes lay upon his things and Vanya's things. We see him walking towards it, and with a determined look in his eye, and it's fade out with like the assumption that he's getting all of the things. And we will go back to the rest of the crew. You guys were just kind of discussing about what to do. There was some discussion about going to the dwarf. There was also some discussion about getting some rest. What is the plan?
Well, I wanted to ask you, can I use a hero point or RP to cast a cantrip that I did not prepare? I do believe that we've done that in the past, or it might have been a different game.
I like that.
Right.
Yes. Plus
So,
it gives me... Yeah.
Maj all of a sudden touches the ice block and casts Prestidigitation to lift it up to help him carry it wherever we're going.
That's fine. Now, is that something that Prestidigitation can do? Because I think it's limited.
Yes, it can lift.
How much?
Well, since it's a heightened cantrip, I believe it can lift large objects.
That's fair. This would be a large object. So, okay. So, yeah, it's towing behind you. All right. So, let's
Ties a
talk.
string to it.
Let's talk broad scale. So, I've already given you guys essentially the benefits of a sleep. It's you guys got to sleep late. And you didn't get a ton of sleep, but you got some. And so I'm just going to give it to you. It is 5 a.m. in the morning. Actually, Cranston, I guess, wouldn't get the benefit. Well, actually, everybody leveled up. So everybody gets the benefits of sleep just because it's fun. Well, I don't know, but well. So yeah, no. Actually, I'm kind of going back and forth on this. I think you guys do actually have to find a place to sleep. Kind of going back and forth on it in my head. I think that would be wise because because it is an important part of the game. And the situation you're in is tough, granted, but I think that's part of.
Yeah. We have 3 other rooms here.
It's true. You could just sleep the rest of the time. It sounds like that's what Asgrim wants to do, at least.
Asgrim, we should return to our room. It is clean still. This is our Hammond's room.
Just want one night.
I think Asgrim
My thought is that
absolutely take you up on that.
That they, if they knew we were here once, there might be more, and they might come again, and you might not be as perceptive. I want Asgrim safely sleeping somewhere like a little baby. And he pats him on the head.
Then I think we should go to the
Hospital.
clinic.
Hammond, I'm going to give this to you, Wade, just because you don't play Beez's character. You know of a place that you guys could sleep. However, you would think that they wouldn't find you there. And that would be the drug den with the other Knights of Ozum.
Oh, I thought you were saying like a brothel or something. I was like, oh, he's a corrupted knight.
No. I think it would come to Hammond's mind that there's always the possibility to sleep with the other Knights of Ozum. But there's also the Wandering Cleric. There's also Vanya. There's also the fact that Dirge is missing. You know, there's a bunch of different things going up in the air. So
there's the Knights of Ozum. And honestly, we don't have to rest. Sorry, Asgrim. We could press on and attempt to gather our party before we rest. That way any other attempts on our life would be thwarted by superior numbers. We could gather the... Sorry, you're a dwarf cleric, right?
Yes.
Okay, we could gather the dwarf. He seemed a trustworthy fellow. And then perhaps try to ascertain where the cat person and our Healy'd friend went. These are all options. I just would rather us be together and in force. To be able to face the dangers of whatever's happening. I obeyed.
I had to step out. Am I still in this conversation? Hearing this?
I would assume you're very sleepy in this conversation, but yes. Sleepy and grumpy.
Yeah, we were going over so to answer your question, Maj, you're not really able to ascertain a whole lot. He's pretty much frozen through. So there's not really a whole lot you can tell that you guys don't already know. So that's the answer to one. The options, well, actually, it's not so much options. It's just, here's what is in front of you. You have to tell me how you want to proceed. You know you need rest. That's one. You know that the cleric is still in the jail. And you know that these guys are guards. That's 2. 3 is the fact that Vanya is on the run and separated from everybody. 4, Rogue still needs that blood transfusion, which you have scheduled for this morning. So there's a, and then of course the cult is clearly active in this city to some extent. So you guys have to decide what your next steps are, but those are the current things that are going on. I would suggest you guys choose at least one, and we'll pursue that. So what is the next thing you guys want to do?
Asgrim is he nods at the at everything Sir Hammond's saying and stuff, but he says I'm staying here till I can get the blood transfusion. I could track down Vanya, but not like this. I'm too weak. This must be done.
Mosh speaks up. Well, I do understand that this ice pop was once a guard, and we know that they work for the Whispering Tyrant. If our little cleric friend was somehow able to escape, he would return here. Therefore, if we leave here, we would not be able to find him. We three are strong enough to take on just about anything.
That
We can
sounds
finish.
like famous last words.
We can finish this night's rest by taking short intervals of guarding, but we should probably sleep in the cleric's room since they do not expect that anybody would be in there.
We could change rooms, and I could trap the windows with snares.
We could also make sure there is no light or way that they could see in.
Yes, let's do this.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is the priority is rest and getting to the cleric's room, essentially taking it over, this one up here, and trapping it. Is that correct?
I believe so. Does it have any windows?
It does. It has one, the shield right here is actually a window.
Yeah. And who knows? I don't know if the cult would come back and attack us again the same night, or...
Good question.
Mosh, however, will push the statue to right at the top of the stairs and dismiss his prestidigitation to set it down right at the top of the stairs, just in case the ice defrost and the heart blows
That's
up.
fun. That's fun. I like it.
And we don't know. We have no idea where Vanya is, right?
Mm-mm. Well,
Not
Maj
necessarily.
told her to go to the asshole village.
Oh, okay. So it should be there.
Okay.
Alright, yeah.
So, with that said, we see you guys going to the room, trapping it, and the like. Let's go back to Cranston. Cranston, you are grabbing all of your gear. You have got Vanya's all in tow. You do notice that the jail is absent of people, which seems strange to you.
Very. I think that what I would like to do is, since it is empty, I would like to take a look around and see if I can find any incriminating evidence against these bastards.
Okay, I like that. So, where are you looking?
Now I drew this, so I don't know that it actually fits, but I put some desks up front. There's an interrogation room that we were in.
Sure.
But if those desks are actually, I mean, I just tried to make a medieval, police station.
You know what? I like the idea actually of this being kind of like storage and interrogation.
Okay.
And so
I can dig through here, I guess.
Yeah, roll me a perception check. It makes sense. You're already in the room. You're already digging around. I have an idea.
The
Yeah, you don't really find much. Seems like it's just your normal things. If you want to try some other rooms, you're more than welcome to.
yeah, I think I would like to try. Like I said, I'm assuming that over here.
Yeah, I'm assuming like right here is maybe like the officer's office, and then over here is like the reception area.
Then I would definitely. This is where we were yelling at each other at one point, anyway. So
that makes sense. So yeah, you walk into the room. You see it's an office. They're kind of just different trinkets and shelves and the like. Where are you Where are you looking?
So the first thing I want to do is cast a cantrip, detect magic.
Okay.
Just to make sure that, if there's anything, obviously a trap, obviously,
You detect magic on the desk.
Okay.
And if you hold it, it reveals correct me if I'm wrong, but if you hold on to that, it reveals like the type of magic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you hold it again, I think it gets you specific, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. It sends out a pulse that registers the presence of magic. You receive no information beyond the presence or absence. You can choose to ignore magic that you're fully aware of. And then you only, let's see. Oh, and then you have to heighten it, actually.
It would be heightened because you're a cantrip.
Right.
Which means right now you would be heightened at level 4.
Right. So I pinpoint the source of the highest level magic. Like for an imprecise sense. You don't learn the exact location, but can narrow down to within a 5-foot cube or the nearest if larger than that.
So yeah, it's emanating from the desk. You don't know if it's necessarily that. You just know it's coming from the desk.
Okay. I'm going to check the desk then.
You feel pretty confident that the desk is trapped.
Okay. And I don't have shit for trap springing, so.
Yeah. I mean, like your detect magic, like you get that essentially, like I don't know how to describe it. Actually, well, roll me a perception check. I should have had you roll a perception check. Good. All right. So then, yeah. So you feel like the desk is trapped, and you feel like.
Do I feel like it's a magic trap?
You feel like it's a magic trap.
Okay. And I don't have a whole lot for that right now. I think I'm gonna have to leave that be because I could possibly take the hit, but I don't want to run the chance of it maybe sending an alarm to somebody or something like that.
Sure.
So I think what I'm going to do is step out. I don't think there's going to be anything at the receptionist desk. I'm going to go out the front door and I'm going to drop the keys down the well, and then I'm going to go back to the hotel.
Okay. You again, no guards. And I'm going to pull you back to the hotel with everyone else. And I'm going to close the jail mat.
And I'm
I guess you wouldn't be. I guess you. So you come up to the hotel. First thing that you notice is it's quiet, but I mean, it's early in the morning. It's not like there's going to be tons of people doing shit.
Right. And I do have dark vision, by the way.
Oh, good point. Before I forget, are you guys familiar with everlasting stew?
Yeah. Yes.
Heard of this concept.
My wife told me about this, and it's fascinating. Back in medieval times, they had this thing called everlasting stew, and it was a stew that was just constantly on the burner. And if it was constantly hot enough, it's constantly burning off bacteria and mold and anything else that would eat what's in there. So you can essentially keep the stew fresh as long as it was under the burner. So I imagine like the smell of that everlasting stew probably permeates the tavern. When you get to the stairs, you do notice something at the top of the stairs that's kind of alarming to you. It looks like there's a figure. It looks like they are encased in ice.
Oh, great. Can I get past it?
Yeah, you're able to kind of like wiggle your way past it, and as
And
you get
do I notice what it is?
a person.
But I mean, can I identify anything about that person?
I don't think you'd be able to identify anything about the person.
Okay.
As
As
you make
far
your way-
as if
go
it's a
ahead.
guard or not. Yeah, like if it's
Oh,
in a
yeah.
guard uniform.
No, I don't think you'd be able to. Just
Okay.
frozen. But as you make your way here, now you guys never told me you hid the bodies or whatever. So you do see one body here. And maybe you look and see that the door is ajar. And you know that this is your friends. This is where you had that contentious conversation. So
Right.
you look in, you don't see them, and you would see like a corpse of another guard. Again, chest blown out, 3 of them with their chests blown out.
Okay.
And your friends
now,
out there.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the room that
Actually,
Maj
that's right.
came
The
out of.
door. Yeah, this is right. There is no door. It looks like it was like a burst. It's like splinters everywhere. So it looks like there was a fight, and it looks like the guards were killed.
At this point, I'm not feeling too bad about that. For obvious reasons. I guess I will. Do I know the other rooms that they were in?
Yes.
Or-
You know that they were in here, and then you know that your room was there.
Yeah. I'm gonna check. Is there a way for me to make a pointer?
Yeah, left and right click at the same exact time.
Like that?
Yes, there you go, buddy.
Okay. I'm gonna go check in, see if that door's locked or unlocked. And-
you guys never told me you did anything with it, so presumably it's unlocked.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dirge had got in that room and then slept out whenever he realized Vanya was running away. And then that shit was gonna go down here.
I'm gonna stick my head in there carefully.
Yeah, you don't.
Quietly.
Yeah, you don't see anybody or anything. Oh, those are bunk beds. You look close enough. Those are bunk beds.
Yep. Why does those rooms reek so much? Anyway. Smells like sex and candy.
You make your
Like
way
cheese.
to your room. I'm sorry. I'm making decisions for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's where I was heading. So,
Okay. Now you have a key to your own room.
yep.
It makes absolute sense. I don't know if you're trying to be stealthy about it.
Not particularly.
Yeah. Maj, like you hear something on the other side of the door. But you don't hear anything from the window or anything.
And
So I
you
don't
should
know.
Maj's eyes just snap to the door real fast.
And you should hear a key in there, so.
Like, yeah, you hear the click of a key. It gets turned. Who's on guard? Because you said one of you is on guard. So is Hammond on guard?
I would assume Hammond would have taken the first watch.
Yeah, so Hammond's
Lay
got
on
Hammond's got his sword out, his shield, like he's ready to
I-
fight.
I stab immediately.
Stabs immediately. Just you open
Oh,
the door.
who goes there?
Crit.
Is
And
what Hammond would
you
say.
would see Hammond, who's like on guard, like full sword and shield, and Maj looks like he's like standing there like ready, and Asgrim is just conked out. He's just sleeping. Wait a minute.
Maj at the
Rogue?
foot of the bed.
Wait, time out. Rogue, do you have a tattoo on your chest?
I do.
You never noticed that?
He's one of them! He's one of them! Oh my gosh!
It's a skull.
It's the
awesome.
symbol of chaos. My first book.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, so
My wife's got it on her arm too.
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
How fucking wild would it be if just Rogue just exploded on camera live stream?
I think I might feel bad about that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just
I
a
feel
little.
bad. I'd be very sad, and I would
I
also
was
be
a part
like,
of the cult the whole time.
You're like, I did it. Uh-oh.
Rogue yells, "Totally worth it!"
"Is this just real life? Is this just fantasy?"
Natural 20.
I can never hear that without thinking of the Muppets.
All right, door opens. Cranston, everybody's like on high end, super tensioned out.
You see a very, very tired-looking, grumpy dwarf who looks at you and says, "I expect you'll be splitting the bill on this one, then."
Maj
Well,
perks up and goes, "Well, we took care of the guards for you, so I don't think that's going to be needed."
I took care of my own guards, thank you very much.
to be fair, point of order, I wanted to come rescue you.
And
I was
yet,
down. I was outvoted. We are a democracy here,
mm, that's
as
just two.
Iomade provides.
That's just two sheep and a wolf. There are two wolves and a sheep figuring out what's for dinner.
I'm sorry, I don't get metaphors. This is a character trait that will stay.
I think Asgrim will wake up a little bit from the voices and everything.
One night.
Like starting to get mad, but then he sees who's there.
Yeah, you could have told me who. You could have told me these guys were on the take, so to speak.
As far as I was told of this situation, they were trying to be subtle. I don't do subtle per se, but I do pick up on a few things.
Mm,
I was trying to lie to the guards, pretend that we were with them.
I look back out and say, yeah, that worked really well.
Well, it would have if someone wouldn't have attacked, but bygones be bygones. I'm glad you're here. Another fellow man of the cloth.
By the way, just so you know, there's the desk at the police station that's magically trapped. I didn't feel it was my in my wheelhouse to try to take over and get through that. So there's nobody there at the moment. If anyone has the gumption to go rifle through and see if there's anything of interest.
No. I'm going to sleep. I'm glad that you're back, though. I'm gonna work on this lying thing.
So is everybody still trashed?
You would look at Maj, and he would have a pretty deep wound. Or two.
Okay.
So I
I
think
would
you got
put a
attacked
numerical
twice.
number on it. No.
If I was to put a numerical number on it, it would seem like he's hit for 21 points of damage.
It would seem like there is a 12-ish range of damage seeping from his wounds.
So this is my first cleric.
It's so hard to describe shit.
This is my first cleric in Pathfinder 2.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need a little help with this medicine check. But I have ward medic, so I can treat 4 people at once. I have magic hands and healing hands, which means that I've got a lot of healing that I can do.
Absolutely. So why don't we start with your ward medic before you do.
Absolutely. Since I am a master in medicine at this point, I can
Okay.
work on 4 people at once.
Sounds good. So yeah. So what I'm gonna need you to do is make a medicine check. I believe the DC is 20 for treat wounds. And
Okay.
if it's a critical success, if it's a regular success, it's 2d8, and if it's a critical success, it's 4d8.
And I have magic hands, which means I believe it's 2d10 and 4d10.
Yes. So which do you want to do first?
Hang on, there's one more thing. There's 3 pieces to this puzzle.
Okay.
And that's why I mentioned all 3 of them. Hang on.
I think the party's just happy to have another healer, honestly.
Yes, I am not quite cutting it, as it were.
So, let me make sure healing hands is. Yeah, I roll d10s instead of d8s. And then magic hands, because I'm the. Yeah, right? I'm a magic man.
Spear fingers.
Oh, I see. When you succeed at medicine checks to treat wounds, your action gains the divine trait, and you heal the maximum amount of the 2d8 or 4d8 on a critical success. If you have an ability that adds additional dice to your treat wounds, you still roll those normally. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so you just have to roll past a 20.
And it would be, 20 or 40 points.
Be
Is what I'm seeing.
16 or 32.
Oh, but I have the D10.
Oh,
because
yes,
of the
yes,
magic hand.
yes. 20, so it'd be 20 or 40. You are correct.
Well, that's
Just shy. I'm so sorry. It makes sense though. Like everybody's on edge, so maybe you're not doing your best work. So you'd have to try again in an hour, but you can just go ahead and use a charge of your healing, which I think you have as a focus spell, don't you, as a cleric?
I do. I do have healing, so I can just use that since we're resting. And that's going to be, oh God.
You're about to get a full night's rest, so you could essentially use, like, you could upscale your heal to level 4, so that way it's 4d8, I guess.
Right. So let's just do that. And that's not a roll at that point, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't make. I mean, 4d8 and it's max, right? Wait,
Yeah.
Is it automatically max because magic hands only works
No,
on?
I'm thinking that's only on medicine checks.
All right, so
Let me make sure.
Yeah, roll 4d8.
Yeah, that's just a mundane.
Unless you're gonna like use all your spells to heal everybody up. In that case, then we'll just.
Yeah, let's just do that.
All right, so everybody's wounds go bye-bye. All right, I said it was 4. So here's the deal. You guys get a rest in. When around like 8 a.m., you hear screams from the outside. Oh my God! What happened? A murder! A murder! It seems like the tavern people have finally come in. So you were woken up to that screaming from the outside.
I'm gonna put my armor back on and start gathering up my traps.
Okay. Between
I said we. Oh, go
You
ahead.
just wake up and just.
between the
What another hour?
between before the combat and after the combat, I'll say everybody sufficiently got a full night's rest in. So let's go ahead and do that. And by everybody, I mean specifically these 4. Okay, you guys are rested up. It is early in the morning. The tavern person is yelling. What are you guys doing?
We could pretend like we don't know what's going on.
It happened right outside our room. There's blood all in the room.
Isn't there blood in the room? Yes.
Yes, there's a window here. Let's just go out the window.
We could blame Vanya.
Discretion is the
can
better
blame
part of
Vanya.
What did you say?
We could
Crazy
blame
cat
Vanya.
lady came back. She came in. We ran.
That'd be
We locked the
amazing.
door, and she killed them all.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Askrim laughs.
Yeah, just like Cat Lady did this, written in the blood.
Askrim laughs when Maj.
No, we just
Maj
in the
says
blood.
that.
We just
Oh.
write me out.
But then
The little
Askrim
fake
looks
thumbprints
back
around.
at Maj to make sure that he's joking.
No, he's not. He's
He's
not.
not joking.
He's like, no, we can't do that.
That's
That's
fine.
terrible.
I have an idea.
You hear her running down the stairs like she's about to go yell outside.
Maj walks out the room and once again uses his newfound abilities. The disturbing knowledge. Ma'am, these cultists, they attacked us in the middle of the night. It was horrible. And they, just like the man from this crime scene, they all exploded. But you see here, we have one frozen. And he wipes the some of the ice away
On my
to
desk.
expose the tattoo on his chest.
So I don't know if you'd be able to see the tattoo because his clothing is still frozen. Know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Well, then he'll use his what is it? What is it? Produce flame to kind of melt just a little bit away, just so that he can pull it to the side and expose the tattoo.
All right, roll me that Arcana check, and then I have to roll a will save, correct?
Yes.
Okay, roll that Arcana check, buddy.
I did put training in deception now, so if I have to lie,
Ooh.
it's gonna be good.
She doesn't believe
Yeah.
you with a 21. She's just like,
Oh my!
oh my
Well,
god,
plus
you
it goes
you
down.
Are...
It goes down to.
Why
It
are
was a
we
1,
making...
so it's a critical fail.
Yeah, so she's just like, you murdered them! All of you murdered them! You're with the cat lady! And she opens the door.
Can we run now? Sir Hammond says to the rat man, are we allowed to run now? Can we go find the Catwoman now?
I have to go to the hospital.
Oh, yes. We can drop him off at the hospital on the way.
I'll put on a disguise or something. Go to the hospital.
We're clearly not welcome in this town.
Who was the? Who did we figure out could give him blood?
It was a cleric woman.
Yes, yes.
Had to give her own blood.
Maj runs back to the...
She spent
the
the
juice.
day before looking for somebody who would be a suitable match for Rogue, blood type wise. And she said
Gotcha.
that she would have somebody in the morning who could help with the transfusion. But then all kinds of crazy shit went down.
Yes.
So
Blame Bob.
Maj runs back into the door. Well, that woman's going to try to find the corrupt police and turn us in.
Lovely.
Let's go down the window, like you said. The window.
I don't think we need to. I think we
Hammond
should
has
just...
been like pointing at the window this entire time, like,
Yeah, we'll take the window.
yeah, we'll jump out the window.
Asgrim's already
Halfway
down.
out. He's already out.
All right, so here's the deal. You do hear
Mount up,
yelling
Steed.
outside.
Pops on
This woman, you hear like a thump, 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 people coming in, the whole 9 yards. You guys have made your way down the window. Just say your combination of working together. Go ahead.
I would like to ask, Maj melted away some of this ice around the man's heart.
Does it explode?
Does it explode with the vibrations of them running up the stairs?
I don't know if it would explode. Well, no. The way that I've got it envisioned in my head, no. I think the tattoo is still intact. Well, no.
But he's dead. The heart is stopped.
I think what
So
we
the-
also described, correct me if I'm wrong, was that tattoo disappeared when...
It blew up.
Yes. So...
So it hasn't blown up yet.
So actually, that's funny you mentioned that. Thank you for helping me. The tattoo is no longer there, though. And the chest is intact. So that presents an interesting thing, possibly, for you guys, if you're actually interested. But, yeah, tattoo is gone. Her chest was intact.
Can I do a lore check on that with the undead lore?
Upon
Yes.
seeing that, when he melted the ice, I would recall or activate occultism automatic knowledge.
All right, so both of you roll accordingly.
I don't need to. It's an automatic knowledge.
Oh, and I do have an occultism specialization as well. I'm trained in it. Can I roll both?
So, yeah. And what would your score be, Jester?
Recall knowledge with a skill as a free action once per round. You
So is it like a
assure
10?
the skill check.
So
I
a
have
10.
an insurance. Yeah, I have an insurance on this skill check.
Okay. So yeah,
So
you realize that the magic is based around the heart itself, and because the chest was frozen, while it has enough force to like generally go through a person's like skin, right, and bones and stuff, the hardened ice would have made it wouldn't have been able to have exploded in the way that it normally does. You surmise if you could get into that person, if you could do an autopsy, then you can find a truly jacked up heart, maybe like gnarled and black, which might be a smoking gun, as it were, for some people. However, you are running away. Okay, you guys are down. I know that Asgrim wants to stay and get the transfusion and be disguised. Are the rest of you, are you meeting up with him later? What's the plan? Are you hanging around the city, waiting for the transfusion to be done? What's the plan?
I basically tell him I can do the transfusion if we can find somebody. So it should be, I mean, do we really want to chance?
the blood should be in the clinic right now, and it's probably not open yet. We could go in, get the blood, and leave.
If it's marked properly.
You also know that this woman essentially said, come first thing in the morning and I'll do it.
Why don't we go by there as quick as possible? I mean, it takes how long to do a blood transfusion? 30 minutes? So that's...
Yeah. I mean, really, it's not that long,
Yeah.
Yeah. I've given blood, I've never received it, so...
Yeah. I had to do it once a month with hemochromatosis.
Really?
Much fun.
Yeah, I'll bet.
That sucks. Sorry, Betty.
You had to
We're
take
playing some real escapism here.
most of it out. But it does take like 2 or 3 days for your body to refill blood.
Yeah.
Which makes this ability that the blood hag, I think it was, fucking more terrible than anything. Because it lasts like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, it says 1 week to refill 1 pint is the rule, and so she took essentially 4.
Yeah,
you were on death's door. Yeah, you were 1 more round and you would have been killed.
You've got to be feeling the worst in your life, you've ever felt.
Yeah.
Rogue's like, I've had a blood thing. I fully know.
There was something wrong with my juices.
My juices tainted.
Back to the juices.
Okay, so Asgrim, what are you going to do? It seems like the most of the party is. You tell us.
Yeah, he's going to the hospital. I mean, to the cleric to get the blood.
Roll me I think disguise is just in deception.
Sweet.
So that's actually, at least that's how I would rule it.
I mean,
unless
good
it's
thing
somewhere
I
else.
put points in it.
It used to be its own
hero.
thing.
Do I have to call hero point if I want to use it for this? And
Yes.
if I fail, I use it, or is that?
No. You call a hero point before a roll, and then you just get to roll twice and take the better of the 2.
Okay.
Or make
All right.
him take the worst of the 2.
Correct, but you have to call it beforehand. That's the only caveat I'm putting on it. Otherwise, it becomes very overpowered.
Okay.
And I think we also clarified 1 per roll.
Yeah, you did.
All right.
Okay.
I'll use it here then, I guess. Deception. Not necessary.
Yeah.
Does he get to keep the hero point on the nat 20?
No, get out of here. He called it.
Yeah.
All right. You goblin. All right. You see Asgarim.
Also, we're at the end of the day.
He looks behind. He's like, I'm gonna roll it anyway because I used that point. I would absolutely do the same thing.
Absolutely.
You go and
You
you
got
find
double 20s.
there's a clothesline as you come down, and you see clothing that fits you perfectly, and you're able to cloak the whole 9 yards. And I imagine, like, if the camera's like walking with like the group, you see Asgarim just like taking things off, taking things on. We saw Asgarim before, and then he comes out in this like perfect disguise that fits into the town. Maybe he's even got like a fake nose on, and you're like, where the hell did that come from? And he just doesn't even look like Asgarim anymore.
Interesting.
The rest of you, what are you guys doing? The three of you.
So, I want to use my other hero point that I got from the other game to cast a spell without using a spell slot.
Is that something is that something we've talked about?
You did it for the cantrip, and that was something not prepared.
Yes.
And I believe in the past we have done that as well. But this is just for RP.
Okay.
This is just for RP.
If it's just for RP, that's fine. That's fine. I'll
Marge melds into the stone.
Oh, okay, cool. So of the inn.
I'm imagining these streets are stone.
Okay.
He's just traveling under the party in the stone.
Oh, so that's fascinating. Okay, I think that's okay. So I think that's fun. I see, like, you got this guy like putting on a disguise. Maj like just disappears, and we see like rocks moving every so often, just to kind of like if it was like a movie.
It's like
A
Bugs
little
Bunny.
rat tail. The
It's
little
like
rat tail coming up in between cracks.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Bugs Bunny going to Pismo Beach.
Yeah.
I lean
yeah,
down to the
exactly.
cleric and I'm like, he does things like this. I just tend not to ask questions.
Cranston just spits on the ground and shakes his head.
I don't think it's godless, but I don't think it is of God.
I think
so-
it's just kind of weird.
Yes, it's just weird. I tend not to.
Is the two holy men not going to disguise themselves?
I mean, I don't think Hammond has any sort of skills in disguise or deception.
Nah,
Yeah, no.
No.
And like he has no want to. I would assume he would have
I-
no want to do
I
that.
pull my cloak up over my head.
Okay.
You two can stay here.
Do I have a helmet?
Just wait for us.
Let's head toward the edge of town. Let's get out of this town. And
Yes.
they can meet us out there.
Get the horses.
Yeah, actually, yes, we have horses.
No.
Asgrim will be like a girl, like Mad Mardigan when he was disguising himself in the tavern, Willow.
Oh, cool.
He'll have it like over his face, the little veil.
So you notice that the guards are a little bit light as you guys are walking around. There's not as many.
Wonder how
You
that
did-
could be.
You did kill 6 of them.
8.
Eight. 8. That's true. I guess I sent. No, that was 6.
How about the 2 I killed?
Yeah, you killed 2 and they killed 4.
Oh,
No,
I thought they killed 6.
I gave you. Oh.
You sent 4 after Vanya.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's part of what I was going to go for. As you guys are walking away, you're trying to think about why the guards are so light, why the station wasn't so full, and it kind of comes to you. The guards that were at the station probably went after y'all, for starters. Then there's the ones that went after Cranston. Then there are the ones that went after Vanya. So just as you guys are split up, it's that kind of reasonable that they were split up as well.
That makes sense.
You guys walk to the edge of town. Pretty much just kind of waiting on the edge with the horses. Asgrim, you make your way in to first thing into the cleric's house. And she's like, yes, hello, how can I help you?
Hello. I came here yesterday for a blood transfusion.
Oh, you, yes. And I don't know if she has any knowledge about what has transpired, because it's been one night, essentially.
Yeah.
So she's like, Yes. Yes. I would. Yes. So you walk in, and there is. You smell blood on the air. You're not entirely certain. You're like, oh, that makes sense. I'm getting a transfusion. I imagine there's like an open slab, like in an adjacent room, and you see the body of Nobleman Garrus just kind of like laid out there, dead eyes, kind of like looking. And she's like, I'm so sorry. There was a murder last night, and this is the only cleric in town. I'm just doing a post-mortem investigating. But yes, I did say I was going to help you, so please come into this room over here. I have set everything up, and we found a donor for you.
Thank you so much.
So 30 minutes are going to go by, and there's not really going to be there's nothing that's going to interrupt you or anything. So Asgarim, we could finally take off the drained condition.
What? Dun, 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 dun.
2 months later, yay!
So I have you at minus 48 HP. So
Oh God.
so now he's back to his full 92.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's murder hobo time.
Let's go back and kill that woman. Asgrim gets drained again.
If there is
Only Asgrim.
If there's nothing else you would like to do, Asgarim, I'm just going to take your natural 20 disguise check, and you can meet them outside of town.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to get Vanya.
Okay. You guys are outside of town. You have horses. At this point in time, we'll say it's about, between getting the horses, between the blood transfusion, everything, I'm going to say it's about 10 a.m. So, for the first time in a hot minute, let's go ahead and bring up this map. You guys are in Nantwich. You guys are the Flaming Skull. You know that you told Vanya to make her way to this town. Or maybe the supplies, or I don't recall exactly.
It was the asshole town.
It's asshole town. You guys are on the outside of the town. Now, before you leave Nantwich, a couple of things. You have horses. I believe we decided they can go 5 hexes within like a phase, whether it be morning or afternoon or whatever. So you could feasibly make it to Nantwich by the afternoon if you're leaving like right now. However, before you do that, there are dead guards back in town, a town that's on somewhat high alert, and then there's also the prison with the magical trap in the desk. There are a couple things here. Is there anything you would like to do before leaving Nantwich?
Oh, shit.
I'm ready to get the fuck out.
Cranston is kind of hoping someone can get into that desk, but not too hopeful because it's probably restaffed in there at this point. And like someone else said, it's not necessarily all the guards are evil.
Yeah, I think Vanya. Wanna meet back Vanya. Get our whole crew back.
I'm in
He'd be
agreement.
worried about her, making sure she's safe too. I mean, there's a terrible blood hag out there.
Okay.
I mean,
So you are. So to be clear, what I'm hearing from everybody is we're going to this town for Vanya, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. we are going to get ready to end the session as you guys begin taking your horses and leaving Nantwich to get the F out of Dodge, making your way to this small town. We, however, though, are going to... We see the crew, the group, the party moving. And we see Vanya. Give me a second here. Vanya. This is like a movie. Oh, that didn't work. That's lame. I hate when my audio stuff doesn't work. Let's do this. Something, right?
Something's coming. Bum, bum, bum.
We see Vanya in what appears to be a very dark room. People in black cloaks and garb walk into the room. Vanya is chained up on what appears to be some type of table, some type of torture table. You see them with ritualistic knives, other implements of torture, and we see a very beaten, bloodied, and hurt Vanya with a stubborn look on her face.
So stubborn. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I can imagine all the shit talking, like you're probably giving them, like how many times you've spit like blood back in their face, you know, that sort of shit.
The woman responds. A couple of her acolytes, maybe like sharpening tools and different implements. She takes off her hood. She kind of like cracks her neck, blonde. She looks like to be an older woman. She looks at Vanya, takes like a hand and like brushes her cheek very gently.
Can I bite her?
You could try to. It's like you try to bite her and she like brings her hand back.
Probably like a very common thing she's tried to do several times.
She knows it's coming because it's a cat bite.
She looks at you and she says, "My dear, my dear, my dear. A future servant of the Whispering Tyrant need not act in such a manner. We will break you, as we have broken other people. And soon you too will." And she kind of like reveals at least a portion of her chest to see like that tattoo. Several others do as well. You'll become one of us soon enough. And she just smiles wickedly. Does Vanya say anything in retort?
All you can see is her ears pinning back. She just kind of moves her head to the side and then says, "You can't tattoo fur."
Breaks out a razor.
Damn it.
I figured that was
As that happens,
You're- Vanya the Sphinx cat.
as that's happening, she says, "We know all about your friends. Maj, Asgrim, Hammond, and the rest. And we aren't just going to break you. We're going to break each of them. And you will help us." And she's been smiling as she says this. "You'll begin helping us to take over these lands in the Whispering Tyrant's name. Tarbafon, and there's like Tarbafon, just kind of like whispers, like echoes going off of this like stone area. It's just a matter of
The
time.
moment they start chanting their names, she just starts whimpering and shaking because she's obviously on a bed and very weak. And the only thing that she's hoping for is her friends. It's a terrifying moment.
Now, I'm going to reveal to you guys some of the stakes about what's going on here. In our session that we played one-on-one, I had Blusvecchia. I came up with a mechanic. I called it her will counter. Like she essentially had to succeed at X amount of will checks before something happening, before her will is broken. Each one represented like a phase of the day. Morning, I think it was night, morning, afternoon, something like that. She failed all of them.
It was because I was exhausted.
It was because she was
I didn't get
exhausted, because
I
she
didn't get
didn't
any
rest.
rest.
So Asgrim...
So everything was -5. It's great.
So Asgrim is 100% on par for being like, we need to fucking sleep. Now, to give you guys an idea of the timeline, you'll get there around afternoon, which will be after her second failed save. Now, depending on what things happen, a bunch of different things can happen. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the stakes about what's going on.
Tick tock.
Like an hourglass slowly draining out.
I love it.
Interesting.
B's just tuned in. He's like, what have I missed? I don't know if you caught any of that, B's, but yeah.
Shit on fire, yo.
Long story
on
short,
fire.
they defended the fight at the tavern. Cranston defended the fight in the prison. They reunited. Asgrim got his transfusion, and they're on their way towards the fishing village.
And you have a new character trait. You can't understand metaphors.
It's true.
Canon forever now.
And he doesn't wear
Yes,
anything
he
under-
wears long johns.
Donald Ducks!
He
Oh
Donald
yeah,
Ducks
no,
when
he
he goes to
Donald
sleep.
Ducks to bed. He wears a shirt, nothing else.
He looks forward to watching it in full. So, all right, guys, I think that's a good place for us to leave our stream for the night. A lot has happened. I've got a lot to plan for, and hope you guys had fun.
It was a blast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Hey, we're almost done split. Yay.
Help
Almost
me.
in split. You guys are almost towards being reunited, possibly. Or me breaking you.